Alright, well, good evening, everyone. Hello there. This is so nerve-wracking. Okay.
Hi, Harris.
Hi.
Hi, Harris.
So this evening, I would like to share not a couple of things, but something that is going on in my life. But before I do that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Christie Harris. I like to do that. And I'm actually the host of this house along with my brother, Bro Phil, who just left to drop off Tara. But I've been given the opportunity to share what's been going on in my life by Josh tonight. So let me start. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
Come on, Christy! Woo!
So the message that I'm talking about, the topic is re-enter the room. It's because long story short, I'm in the season of life of the unknown. So I'm re-entering the room with a different perspective. So I would like to share this. Everyone has different seasons of life, and you guys are going through different seasons of life. And so a month ago, I went to Hillsong Conference, and there was this pastor. His name is Louis Giglio, and he was talking about sitting at the table with the Lord. So let me give you guys an example of this analogy. So he was sitting at this table, and then he was imagining. Chica, can you come here? Okay. So imagine this is a table of the Lord filled with food, filled with amazing drinks, and all the things he likes. So you sit down as Jesus. So Pastor Louis was talking about sitting at the table with the Lord. So sometimes we like to depend on the Lord with like seasons of life. We're just like, hey Jesus, please help me out with my homework, my exam. I love you. Goodbye. And then, or like, Jesus, can you help me with my like future relationship? I love you. Goodbye. So he was talking about sometimes we are so busy with our life that we forget to sit at the table with the Lord and just have a conversation with Him on what's going on in our life. And I think that's a perfect analogy because sometimes, you know how when you're sitting at a table, for example, Chachi and Fashti, you're on a date, tiba-tiba, Aldo came in. We're like, hey guys! And then you just want to have a date, just the two of you, but then he was slowly sitting down and you're like, nope, because you know if Aldo sits down with you, that means your whole date is gonna be ruined. Like, you just want it to be alone. Then that's how, I'm not saying Aldo, maybe let's not use Aldo, let's just say X. But this X, once the X sits down in here, that's like the devil. Sometimes we don't realize how devil can quickly sit in with you and just eat it and feast with you and just take in your blessings of the Lord. Because we're just so busy sometimes with our life that we just take food and like, Jesus, I love you. And meanwhile, the devil is like, and eating all your blessings. So that was what he was talking about. And from that, thank you, Chica. And from that, another pastor, her name is Charlotte Gamble, she was talking about how we should re-enter the room with a different perspective, just like Louis Giglio made a perspective of sitting at the table with the Lord. So I'm going to give you guys 3 practical things that Pastor Charlotte shared, and I hope it's helpful for you all. If you want to take notes, that'll be awesome. And then this re-entering the room is how we can change our perspective in our current season of life. I need to take a deep breath. Because when we sit at the table, sometimes we can sit at a table where we feel like this is not where my current season of life is, that you begin to question God, like, why God, why am I here? But instead, we should start asking, what is God going to do in this season of life? So she was talking about changing our perspective as we re-enter the room. Are you guys with me?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, awesome. So then, sometimes sitting at a table with the Lord, and then you don't know where your season of life is. Sometimes you can get frustrated, angry, sad, confused, and all of the other things, right? You get to have different emotions, and that's when I want to share the story of Mary and Martha. You guys know the story of Mary and Martha with Jesus, where they invited Jesus to their house, and then Martha was busy working, and then meanwhile Mary is sitting at the feet of the Lord, just like conversing. And then at the end, Martha was so frustrated. Mary, like, why aren't you working? Why aren't you helping me, right? And then from that story, Charlotte tells us 3 different things that we can use that story as perspective in re-entering the room. One is analysis. Adjust what we're seeing. Because at that time, Mary and Martha invited Jesus to serve the Lord. But then instead, Martha shifted her perspective into, like, why isn't Mary helping me out? And all that. So what I'm trying to say is, shift your perspective. That's the first one, analysis. And the second thing is awareness. You have to be aware of seizing the opportunity that God has given you. And Mary chose to sit at the feet of the Lord and just to listen to what he has to say. And then the third thing is attitude, because I think attitude goes a long way. She said this, your task that cannot dictate your tone of life. But then in this story, Martha let her task dictated the tone of her life. And from this, we can choose to re-enter the room with 3 things: analysis, awareness, and attitude. And then why I'm saying this, again, I'm in the season of unknown. I just finished my bachelor's degree. And then you know how you guys have goals in life? And my goal in life was it actually stops after master's. Because like after that, I just want to work in a flexible, remotely, that I get to work remotely. That's my goal. And then after high school, I have a goal. I'm going to get into university. I finished university. After university, I take my master's degree, and now I'm finished with my master's degree. So now I'm working, but then what is God going to do in my current season of life? And Jesus answered me through different people, through different places, through my mom mostly, and it's just saying trust and obey. Honestly, you guys, I don't know what's going to happen in my season of life, but I believe that God is going to do great things if I trust and obey.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you guys another analogy. Imagine I'm the pilot of an airplane. Not driving, what is it? Flying it in the morning. Terang kan, it's really bright. You get to see where your destination is. And then as a pilot, you know where you're going because you can see the bigger perspective. Now when you're flying at night, wrong. When you're flying in the morning, you percaya kan, maksudnya pilot itu bakal get you where you are safely because it's just get bright. You can see it, what's going on outside through the window or by the aisle seat. I don't know, but you can basically you trust the pilot into sending you misalnya from Jakarta to Bali, and if you can trust a pilot from flying your plane from Jakarta to Bali, and I think you can have more faith in Jesus in sending you in different callings in your life. And then the second analogy is flying the plane at night. Imagine I'm the pilot at night. You know how when you're about to arrive at your destination, ada lampu-lampu. I love it. It's so pretty. Just like the lights resembles a lot of things. I think it resembles family that are talking to me, or community that is speaking to me, or just anyone. God can use anyone to speak through you, and that's how I receive my answer, trust and obey in my current season of life. And that light is just people, again, those I've mentioned before. And then earlier today, when Josh asked me, like, Chrissy, do you want to share tonight? My flesh said, I don't want it. When I received that text, I'm like, no, hell no, I'm not going to do this. But then as I was about to say, Josh, I don't think I want to do it. You know what God said? It's just do it, trust, and obey.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I just knew, oh my gosh, that's my message. That's it. That's what I'm going to talk about. And then in the next 30 minutes, I just sat down and talked about life with my mom. And then this is how the conversation went. This is what I'm sharing to you guys. And then if you guys are in the same boat with me, together, again, we can trust and obey in the Lord. Because I want to share this verse to you. It's from Psalm 119, verse 105. It says, Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Just like boat needs light, need a lighthouse, just like plane at night need lights. Jesus' word is a lamp unto my feet. So that's my message, you guys.
Boom.
So I hope it's like encouraging for all of you in whatever seasons of life you're in. And I just want to close in prayer. So let's pray, everyone. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you so much for gathering all of us here tonight. You say that if 2 or 3 are gathered together, you are in our midst, Jesus. So I'm inviting you into our place, inviting you into our home, Jesus. I just want to pray that thank you so much for using me, Jesus, and giving me the opportunity to speak. I just want to pray that through me, that my story can be a blessing for others, Jesus. And as we begin to share and talk and discuss, after this, I just want to pray that we are able to speak life to one another, encourage one another, Jesus. I just want to thank you so much for this community. I just want to pray for whatever that is going on in our life. I just want to pray for healing. I just want to pray for more blessings. I want to pray for joy, peace, and all of the other fruits of the Spirit, gentleness, kindness. I just want to pray that we are able to converse fruitfully, and may we all bless Him as a community and individually, Jesus. I just want to pray this. Guide us wherever we go. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.